Welcome back. We have been encouraged by Ms. Paula Isaac Barea to the 11 steps of exporting. We've already been educated on the 1, 2, 3 foreign trade and port Everglades by Donna Young and Robert Barcelo. Well, now we'd love to hear from Mr. Jon Zingale. Mr. Jon Zingale is a high impact partner in the Grow with Google program and has helped local business grow their online presence since 2005. Jon specializes in business marketing. He creates, manages, and optimizes online video advertising campaigns for local businesses, utilizing pinpoint marketing strategies afforded by Google's analytical tools. These marketing campaigns employ fact-based decisions derived from big data and delivers measurable results as revenue. Well, without further ado, I'd love to introduce and present to you Mr. Jon Zingale.
All right, thank you, Jonathan. All right, so welcome everybody. Today we're going to learn about all the vital tools you need for your business to be found on Google and the internet in general, and how to get the most out of your website and your advertising dollar. Just way to get the presentation up here. Not sure if it's, I don't see the, here we go. Give me a second here. I'm just trying to get it up on my screen. There we go. Okay. All right, welcome everyone. So today we're going to learn how to reach customers online with Google. So let's get right down to it here. One of the ways that we find things today, inevitably, is through the internet. That's going to be through our phones, through our computers, and ultimately that portal we use is Google. Oop, there we go. Okay, next slide. Okay, so in moments that matter, one of the things that we're looking for targeting our audience is really looking at where most people are looking for the answers that they want. So right now, the growth for searches on Google businesses over the years has been over 80%. So local businesses near me, support your local businesses, any kind of business that's driven by a certain type of owner. 61% of consumers thinking buying online or picking up in a store will be a way for them to shop is Google. This is going to be a big change and a shift in the way the market has been growing, and it's an important time now to get on board with using these tools for your business. Okay, so with our agenda, we're going to go over the ways Google search works so you can understand the nuts and bolts of the way the searches actually function. We're going to learn how to reach customers with search engine optimization. This sometimes is a confusing term. We've heard about SEO optimizing and things like that, but really we're going to get down to the nuts and bolts of it because Google is a search engine and it is over 80% of the search engine market. So it's worth your efforts and your money to really focus on optimizing your results within the Google search engine. Create your business profile, which is a term on Google for your business listing. Amplify online advertising, any kind of advertising you're doing online, whether it's through your website or through Google or video, we'll show you ways that you can amplify that. And we'll go recap of all these resources. How Google search works. Before I get on to this part here, I just want to let the audience know if you do have any questions that you could put them through to the moderator and they'll be able to stop me here so I can focus on answering any details you guys might have within this presentation. Okay, so it starts with a search. We go to the Google search page, whether on their phones or on their computers, and we type in the terms that we're looking to search, the information we want, the place we want to find, the things we want to buy. And it ends with the page of answers. Now, what we have here is the anatomy of how our search results look. This example here is on a desktop. So let me go over this really briefly because this really gets to the foundations of what search engine optimization is all about. We have a text ad on this top part here. This text ad is a paid advertisement, okay? This does not work directly through the search results, but through the Google Ads tool. Below that, we have the organic results. These are just strictly informational results that the search engine has found relevant within the whole and constructs them as an organized result list. And to the right of that is what we have, it's called the business profile. This is where we'll have all the relevant information to find your business, to learn what other people have interacted with your business, pictures of your business, products, anything that you're promoting at the time. It's essentially like your online brochure is what I call this. And an advantage to this is that this space here on the right is not really for sale for advertising. This space essentially is your business list, and it's customized to the way you want it to be. The content in here is the content that you provide to Google for the most part. Now, on the other side, the absence of you contributing to this profile, Google wants to fill it in with something, and it tends to scrape whatever it can find off the internet, which might not be the pictures or the information that you want presented to your public. That's why it's very important to claim this listing and to be able to control the content that's displayed here. Another thing I want to really emphasize about the search result page, if on the left side, whether it's the text ads or the organic results, these are all words. They're just black squiggly lines to most people. On the right side with your business profile is going to be a dynamic, interactive, visual a way of communicating the information about your business. We're going to have pictures there. You could have a virtual tour, map directions. All of these things are assembled very visually within that business profile. So by thinking about the way people like to interact these days, less so with reading, more so visually, that you get a stronger impact with your audience by really focusing on the messaging within your business. Okay, let's proceed. So behind the scenes, this is basically how Google really works. Technically, I guess you could say it's not a search engine, it's really a search index, but it does employ search engines to develop this index. And the index just allows it to bring you results much faster than if it had to actually go out and crawl the web for every search you put into it. Another advantage of the indexing is that Google is able to rank that information as far as the relevance concerning you with your personal profile, which includes your location, any other data it has about your previous searches and purchases and things like that. And it helps assemble that so that that information is brought to you prioritized according to your preferences. Okay, so now that we know how this all works in the background, we want to be able to reach our customers with the search engine. How do we do this? Organic results in the Google search engine are essentially brought from the web itself. So by having a good internet footprint, meaning that your website, any other social media, blogs, anything else that you would have associated with your business is easily associated with your business. That way it aids the search engines to be able to aggregate all this information into a search result that focuses on your business or your business offerings. So the organic search results appear in the area of the search result page. It's just below the ads. And this page changes to the most relevant results for the searcher, also to the time that you're doing your search. So it can change over the days or weeks, even hours. And that's the organic part of it. That's the part really paid, but that's your internet footprint. So the other things that you do within the internet are going to influence the results you see on this page, or this section of the page, I should say, which is the organic search results. Okay, so what is SEO? Search engine optimization. It's a process of making your website or about your business better for search engines. And considering that Google is the main search engine out there, we're looking 80 to 90% of all search engine activity is through Google, that we could kind of focus most of our business marketing into this search engine ecosystem and get the best return on our investment. And that's why I like to focus on Google SEO as opposed to doing other ones, because really when you move outside of Google, you're really working at about 5 to 10% at most of the market. And if you really want to get the best bang for your buck, you want to work on the 80, 90%. So that being said, Quick tip here we have is learn more by reading Google Search Engine Optimization Starter Guide. And we have a link here, and we'll have all these links for you too at the end of the presentation too, if you want. That gets very technical, but I'll make it really simple for you. If you just do all the things that we're kind of going over in this presentation and the common sense things of keeping your business information up to date, that is search engine optimization. The search engines will pick up on that, and you will be rewarded more and more as time goes on if you continually contribute relevant information to Google about your business. Again, Google is your major search engine. So that being said, this is where I like to make sure we do everything correct on this end to get the best return for your investment money in advertising. So make your website more visible to search for products, services, or brand. That means keep the relevant content on your website up. Connect with customers, actively looking for products and services that you offer. So the services you offer and the products, you need to make sure those are displayed on your website continually, and the ones you don't are off so that you don't get irrelevant results that end up reducing your ranking. You want to increase your potential sales by appearing more prominently in the search results. This typically means showing up either if it's products in the product carousel at the top of search results, and if you're doing services, you just want to be in the top ranking, the top page, top of the map pack, meaning the listings of in the maps, Google Maps of businesses if you have a physical location. So this is where we need to make sure that our business is appearing correctly, and that's probably a good chunk of your SEO that you really need to be concerned with first. Next, content is the key. So of course, great content is the holy grail of this all. We want to have quality content. The saying sometimes goes, bad pictures are worse than no pictures. So you want to kind of have control of the content that shows up on the internet as much as possible. And when you do provide content, you want to make sure it's of the best quality, because really no one else is going to put better quality than the business owner. And you need to have that standard somewhat high. Okay, use page titles and descriptions. So of course, each web page within your website should have all the essential descriptions for search results that pick up this metadata that's associated with your website. This isn't information that people see on your website when they're actually there, but when your website or a page of your website comes up in search results, it's basically a human type description for people to read now that the search engine will display. So this isn't really something that the search engine itself picks up on. It's something for humans to read, but it needs to be there. If a search engine sees it's missing descriptions for any of your web pages, then it does lower the ranking because it cannot give as rich of a result and relevant of a result to the user. Ultimately, Google's goal is to give users the most relevant information for their search results. So as long as you're aligned with that goal of Google, providing the most relevant information for your users, which should be aligned with Google's goal, you'll be rewarded by the higher ranking and all these benefits we just talked about here. So next is Google Trends. If you happen to be in any of the industries where there's a lot of activity of search, and I should say more competitive industries, then you might be more interested in Google Trends too. The Google Trends helps you pick up on what people are doing and what they may be doing more of or less of in the future, so you can make effective business strategy decisions and planning. You can find out what kind of content is the best to be using for your advertising, and you can also find out the types of promotions, types of interest, and specific products that people might be showing more interest into over time or less of. So you can help basically figure out how you want to budget your marketing for specific products and services, and also for your in-store sales, stock, and services provided, new services, because this is also a good discovery tool for finding out new things that people are looking for to help you get ahead of the curve, which is what trends are. And it's a statistical tool. It might not be the easiest one to use at first, but as you get to use it, it's got a rather good interface, and you'll start to learn a lot of different ways that you can glean information you would normally never even think of. So it really helps you make creative decisions as far as your business goes. And we'll have links to that too. Okay, so we have an activity that we can do this, of course, on your own time, but We have a handout too to help you along with this, but let me quickly tell you what we would go through. You'd open your web browser and visit Google Trends. And you enter some words that are related to your business, maybe products, services you do, and then compare those by location, adjust your date range, and then you can look at they'll have some other related queries or related terms that might help guide you down another path that might help lead to more discovery. This can also show you where maybe a product was really performing well or was getting a lot of attention, and then it dropped off. Maybe something else has taken over that. Google Trends will help you find that. And one of the nice things about a tool like Google Trends, as opposed to things like analytics that are just looking at what has happened previously to your website, Google Trends gives you enough data from what Google collects, which is just billions of data points. It allows you to actually make predictive calculations as far as extra search results, product purchases, and other kinds of queries. Essentially, this tool is a difference between looking in a rearview mirror or looking forward. When you're looking at analytics, you're measuring past business data and performance. It's like looking in the rearview mirror. It doesn't really tell you what's ahead. With Google Trends, you have enough data to see, moving averages and things like that allow this predictive ability to see where things are going in the future, so you can make more effective planning. Okay, designed for speed and usability, fast load time. These are standards that you need to make sure your web developer is on top of. Mobile, it's 3 seconds. Your site should be loading within 3 seconds or you're just going to lose people. All browsers and devices. It should work on all browsers, and depending on your market, if you're working internationally, you need to work with some of the older browsers too, because not everyone has the latest and greatest outside the States. So the backwards compatibility is important. Also the resources. So you could use things like Google's Test My Site, the Search Console, Google Analytics. There's a lot of resources that Google has just to measure how effective your site technically is making it to the audience. So the Test My Site is a great one. Of course, we're going to give you all these links at the end. Everyone should try this on their site just to make sure it's up to snuff. If your mobile site is not loading quickly, you're losing all your mobile customers practically, and mobile is the bulk right now of sales. If you're looking at sales or calls for leads, that's going to be coming from mobile devices. So you need to make sure this is optimized for your mobile devices. And this tool right here will tell you if you're in that realm or not, or if there needs to be adjustments. It also gives you some rudimentary advice on how to improve it if you're not up to snuff, and that you could easily forward to your developer, or if you're developing your website yourself, take those into consideration. Okay, the Google Search Console is another great tool for the web developers or for site. It confirms the way that the users are going to see the data about your business and about your website, how the descriptions appear, what imagery shows up for which pages and which searches. This one here is another one where your web developer can get good advice, or if you're developing your site yourself, it'll give you a lot of pointers and directions to go to keep it up to optimized level. And of course, you can set up alerts and things like that with the Search Console. But the Search Console is essentially something that every website, you should have this tool connected to it, along with the analytics, which we're going to get to next. Okay, so the activity for this one too, which we'll have on our worksheet here, is go to google.com, search for the words and phrases that should surface your business. Typically, your business name is a good one to start with. Make sure your branded search shows up well. Typically, if people are searching for your business name, your business really should show up first with the business listing on the right side. And if it's not, then you probably have a few things to optimize within this Search Console will help guide you to those. And if other sites are showing up instead of yours, then you might want to do a little bit of reverse engineering and figure out why their site is showing up instead of yours, what you're missing and what gaps are there that you need to fix. And of course, at that time, you'd probably want to figure out what other things you could do to further optimize so you can get ahead of your competition. All right, now we're getting on to creating your business profile. I hope everyone's been following along. I know it's been very technical up to this point. But right now we're going to get into working with the Google My Business tool, which is the foundation of your business profile on Google. So the business profile helps you stand out on Google. As I mentioned earlier, the business profile on the right, it really the dynamic, interactive, visual part of a search result. On the left side, you just get a lot of black squiggly lines that people really don't read anymore. So how do you create this business profile? So the first thing you're going to do is you need to have a Google profile. So if you have already a Gmail or you have a Google account, you can use that. Now, this Google account will not be public facing, strictly for Google to have a personal contact to you, the business owner, that is going to be able to verify that you are the legitimate business owner or representative of that business. And this allows you to contribute content directly to Google without it having to go through further review. Okay. So to make the most of your business profile, we need to complete the business info part, which is a general housekeeping part of this. And you want to be able to get your business hours, address, the map pin on the map exactly to where your business is. I'll give you a little tip here. When you are moving a map pin to adjust your business, typically keep it just around the front door of the business physically, not necessarily in the middle of it, because sometimes they'll give directions to the back access. It's not, the map pin's not close enough to the front access road. It all depends on the setting and other businesses around you. But typically I've found that to get the best consistent results for driving directions, keeping that map pin near the front door of your business. Okay, adding photos and videos. As we all know, content is king, and having good quality photos and videos about your business are really going to get attention from your audience. Think of it like this. If someone is looking for your subject matter, whatever your business is related to, they're going to get search results. Google's going to deliver them search results. Within those results, what would make you stand out from the others? Think about that. And that should help guide you to what kind of pictures and videos you want to be uploading, because it's really not about here's what I do, but here's what makes me unique or what's valuable to the user. And that's really what we focus on for these types of photos and videos. So if it's a restaurant or something, you need really nice pictures of food. You know, if it's a service of some sort, personal fitness trainer or something, you know, you want to show pictures of you working, you know, within that environment in the best light possibly, so people could imagine themselves, oh, okay, this is where I want to be, or I want this person doing this for me. So this brings us to engaging with customers, a great tool that Google has added. And I was along with this when they were first beta testing it, and I thought it was the best thing since sliced bread. And it was quite a bumpy road, because allowing, you know, individuals to produce content that goes directly onto Google and out to the public, to billions of people within minutes, is a high risk for Google to do, if you think about it. It really had to build up, you know, at first with trusted partners as myself, and then little by little, they've kind of been able to get the artificial intelligence to be able to screen, you know, content in such a way that allows unencumbered posting of your business content that's relevant, while still allowing Google the security of being able to keep inappropriate content from appearing to the masses without any kind of check. That being said, this product now is very mature, and I can say that it is one of the best things since sliced bread when it comes to SEO. Your Google My Business page comes to you with no cost other than you interacting with it and producing the content. So the only costs you really incur are your content production costs, whether it's photographs, videos, text ads, promotions and coupons and such. So I'm going to get into this right now and show you how incredible some of these things are. So one of the first things we have are the posts, which I was just mentioning to you. These are basically like free advertisements that you are able to put on your Google business listing, which is also, no one else has access to that. That's only for you. Another thing is the reviews. This is where you interact with other users, the users that create content for you, essentially, in the form of reviews. When you have a user, and all users that leave reviews on Google are verified through Google, so there's always going to be a few exceptions, but for the bulk of the majority, they're verified reviews of real people that are actually going to these places. And Google has various ways of checking on this, and usually the bad ones don't even make it out. They get screened and deleted before they even appear. And if there are ones that are inappropriate, there's a pretty good process now for addressing that. That being said, the value of these Google reviews is that they are unbiased. They are basically supposed to be free speech, as long as they're not lying or disparaging in a way that could cause harm. So they're not always going to be good, but the thing you got to understand is that they should be a way for the public to have trust, because there is that level of unbiased freedom that's within them. That being said, if you're managing your reviews appropriately, then you should be encouraging as many good reviews as possible, so that when those exceptions do show up, which could be disgruntled employees, could be competitors, could be anything like that, which would be very hard to eliminate, but they get thrown away by the mix when you have so many good reviews that overshadow them. Okay, and then the other way we engage with customers through the Google My Business is through the messages. So this is a way that people can actually message you directly from the Google My Business page through their phones to message you directly to get an immediate answer to a question. Depending on your business, this could be very effective. And other businesses that don't have anything to do with it. So this is an option that you do have within the Google My Business dashboard that you can turn on or off. Okay, so next step would be to visit google.com/business or business.google.com. You'll claim your business profile. Let me explain this. Claiming your business profile means you first need to come in with a Google account or a Gmail address. It doesn't matter which one it is, and this will not be public facing. This is just a way for Google to contact you and to verify that you are the legitimate owner or representative of the business. One way of them doing this is requesting a postcard. So they'll send a postcard to the physical business address, and that postcard will have a PIN number on it, and you'll use that PIN number to activate the dashboard and to verify your listing. Sometimes if you've already had an established Google profile or contact or website on for an extended amount of time, there are times where it'll allow a phone verification or other types of verification, but it will give you those options at the time, and that depends on the information that Google already has on file. Okay, and in the meantime, you can still do the housekeeping chores, which I mentioned about your business info, the address, the business hours, etc. That can be done in the meantime so that it's ready to hit the road running when you do get it verified. Okay, now we're going to learn to amplify what we just talked about with online advertising. This is where the money goes in to try to make this stuff work even harder. So all the ads that we do through the Google Ads tool. So Google Ads used to be called Google AdWords, but this is the paid advertising tool that's through Google itself. And this works directly into Google search. It also interacts with partner websites, which does include other Google assets such as YouTube and Google Maps. Also, it works with other partners that I should say is sell space to Google that Google also purchases maybe in bulk, and it will also promote you through those partners. So you're going to reach people who are searching for your products or services. You can control your ads and budget. One of the nice things about the control of your budget with Google Ads is that you can turn it on or off at any time. If you're a small business and you need to go on vacation for 2 weeks, you could shut it off for 2 weeks. You're not going to be billed a penny for those 2 weeks it shut off. When you get back, you shut it right back on. There's no extra fees or anything for that. You only pay when customers take action. So when the ad shows up, you don't pay anything for that. You only pay when people click on it or engage with it another way. If it's a video, they watch it. Other than that, you don't pay for it. Now, it doesn't mean that it's just free to push out there, because Google really tries to put the relevant out there. It wants clicks. Of course, it wants to get paid, but at the same time, If it throws up ads that people don't click on, then it means it's irrelevant ads it's putting out there, and it's not meeting its goal of putting out the most relevant information for the people searching. Okay, another nice thing is that you can track and measure your successes. This is a very important part of the Google Ads tool because this allows you to see the effectiveness of your ad spend and to make sure that you're getting the best return on your ad spend. And one of the goals I do with marketing with Google Ads is that we want to see an increasing return on your ad spend over time. So for every dollar you spend advertising, you should get more in return as time goes on, and you optimize these ads and you optimize this whole ecosystem of videos, ads, map listings, etc. Okay, so you can start advertising with smart campaigns. If you decide to hire an agency or something like that, they may be doing all this stuff for you here. But if you just want to kind of understand some of these things from the start, we're going to go over so you can understand how you could get this going even at a low budget to see how things are moving. Now, I'll say this much, is that the smart campaigns have been evolving. They've gotten a lot better. When they started out, it was, I tried them out with some clients, but they just couldn't outdo the ones with the manual bidding and the manual campaigns. But there's been a big shift going on right now with privacy. And the thing is that there's going to be less targeting of the way we were able to do it before with people's profiles because of this. And now what the shift has become is that Google has been able to anonymously categorize large groups of people into various different types of, affinities, topic interests, these kinds of things, purchases, locations, and they group them in various ways like this. And this is the new way of targeting. Smart campaigns really get into that without having to understand too much of this new categorization scheme that's been going on. And as more and more of this scheme has become more relevant as far as the way privacy is being engaged and ad tracking is being reduced, these smart campaigns are becoming more effective. However, all the tools that you see within the smart campaigns, we can still do manually. So again, with any kind of campaign, you still need to go through these steps. We're going to go over this. You need to decide what the goal is. What action should people take? What are you trying to drive? Are you trying to drive online sales? Do you want people to show up at your business? Do you need people to call up and ask questions? Do you want to send in emails for a quote? You decide on what the goal is first. From there, we decide a campaign for that goal. You can have multiple campaigns within your account for different goals, but that goal is going to drive your campaign. Okay, next, you want to connect your business profile or enter your business info. If you have a business profile, if you do have your Google My Business site, I behoove you to hook it up to your Google Ads. There are a lot of features that automatically turn on from this that you cannot access any other way unless it's connected with your Google My Business listing. It shows you how to do it within the Google Ads tool, but it's an important part to do, and it takes a little bit of making sure the profiles are aligned, but it definitely reaps great benefits. Okay, we need to identify and create a relevant web page to connect your ad. It could be your homepage if you just need to direct people to your homepage. It could be to a product page if it's a product campaign, etc. It could be to a lead page if you're just trying to get leads, depending on what type of goal. If it's a video campaign, perhaps you're just trying to get people to go to your video channel or to watch a video. Okay, next is write a compelling ad. Even with video ads, you still have to write a compelling ad. They're just going to be very short. The video ads come with what's called a banner. The banner is going to have a headline on it, and it's going to have a call to action click button if you elect to do this. If you're paying to do this, I highly recommend you elect to do this because we're trying to drive action. I mean, there's other benefits such as getting the conversion tracking that we get from people watching videos, but it doesn't cost anything extra to put a call to action banner on there. And this is where best measurement, because the view counts, but it's what you pay for. But when they click on the banner, it's free and it's actually driving action. And believe it or not, I've had some full funnel solutions that work from video right to purchase because of this banner, skipping all the other steps of the customer journey in between. Not that this happens all the time, but it happens enough to know that it's worth doing. Okay, choose keyword themes and locations where the ad can appear. The locations are important. Yeah, sure. If you're selling online, you'd like to sell the whole world. But the thing is, you're going to spread your budget way too thin doing that. Concentrate where you get the best results. Perhaps it's a local area, maybe shipping costs or something that you're absorbing. So you want to keep it within where shipping costs are lower. That's where you'd advertise first. If you advertise in too large of an area, you end up losing your ranking. You fall up to the second or third page of listing where people are not going to find you as much. So better to focus on a smaller area and dominate that area, and you'll get much better results much more quickly. We're fortunate enough here to live in South Florida, which is a very lucrative area as far as marketing. I mean, we have 2 coasts in this state here that, represents millions of dollars, probably billions of dollars of commerce online every month. So it's something worth, thinking about focusing your location. And with the Google Ads tool, you could focus as precisely as a zip code, a small municipality, even in an airport area or a university. So it's very precise targeting you can do. You can change this with time too and measure, which is another good thing about the measurement tools. Okay, we got to set a daily budget, of course, and that's how much you want the Google Ads tool to spend within the day, and then it'll cut off your ads. And you can basically set it so it will space it out through the day or certain hours of the day, on, off, however you want to do it. But it allows you to have full control of that budget. Last is launch. And that happens pretty much immediately or as soon as your ads get approved, which is usually within a few hours. So let's walk through this really quick. So we select a goal, which you'll do through the interface here. If you already have your business profile, which you should do, and this is a good time to hook it up to the whole account right here, this little tool. Enter your business name as it should appear in the ads. This is the web page, which we also call landing page. This is the page that people will arrive on when they click on your ad. So think of it this way, is that when people click on that, they saw an ad, they see click here for this or buy now or whatever it is. When they click on that, they want further information that's directly related to the ad they just read. If you bring them to a page that has nothing to do with that, or they need to look for, oh, where's that product page? And then it's a bunch of clicks to find the page to continue on the thought that you just brought them to. That's not going to work as well as bring them directly to the page that continues the thought that you started with the ad. And this is what people would see. So it gives you some examples of the ads on phones and on desktop computer or laptop. And then the 3 headlines, 2 descriptions. You can always do more. Again, if you have an agency, they would be doing all this creative for you. If you're doing it yourself, then you just have to follow these guidelines here. And there's a lot of restrictions as far as character limits and punctuation, things like that. You can't put excessive exclamation points and things like that in there. There are some guidelines that you just want to follow within that, and it will definitely alert you to those. However, this is where a lot of the time goes into these creatives, and you really have to put yourself in the search result. When someone is searching for a keyword, they're asking a question. So essentially, these headlines and these descriptions should be providing an answer to a question in some way, or restating the question and then providing a solution. Okay, so keyword themes. The keywords are essentially the search terms.
John, we have a question.
Oh, great. Sorry.
Are there any, does Google offer any technical assistance while someone is building their website?
I'm sorry, building their website or their account?
Their account.
Oh, their account.
Yeah.
Historically, Google has, when you're spending a high budget amount, they will assign an account specialist for you. And I've worked with them in the past. In the distant past, they used to have some a really good assistance. Now it seems like that it's just rudimentary assistance. So if it's just the initial setup stuff, then you'll find a lot of good help there. If you're looking for more advanced things, you're best really finding out a good ad agency. That's what we do, is we basically perform these best practices and constantly update them. I'm constantly working with all the new things. I mean, even this presentation just came out 8 days ago. It's just been revamped. So, I'm always on top of the newest things coming out, and that's basically what I provide for my clients. So that's something that you probably want to seek out if you need that kind of assistance. Other than that, if it's just a rudimentary setup and you don't really have too high of a budget and you really want to get some extra business coming in through Google, then you can use you will have an opportunity to request an account specialist. I just can't guarantee on the quality for advanced techniques that they'll provide you with, but you can always reach out to me. I'm always here to help too for the people of Miramar. So if you have any basic questions, you can always, my contact information should be at the end of this, and you can always reach out to me, and I'm always happy to help with that too, or to guide you where you can find more of those answers. Okay, does that answer the question? I think we have a delay here, so I'm just going to keep going. And if there's anything,
yes, John, you have a lot of questions coming in now.
Oh, great. Then shoot off.
Right. Okay. The next question is how can we connect my website to Google, add it to my SCRM or landing page?
To connect your website?
Yeah. How can I connect my website to Google, add it to my CRM or landing page?
Okay, so the first thing you want to do is to do the business profile for your business. By doing that, you've really established your connection with your business to Google, and that's at no cost. Now, when you want to connect other third-party tools to this, depending on the CRM tool, some of them do have integration with Google My Business. It depends on the tool. They have partnerships with some of them, and there's more as time goes on. So that's something that you could check with your CRM software developer, or you could check with the Google My Business. It should have whatever the latest updates are. I know there's things like for bookings for hairstylists and such. There's several different kinds of third-party vendors that actually connect directly to the Google account, and that's increasing. There's more and more of those all the time. So if you're using a major developer product like that, then chances are it will have an interface to connect with Google My Business.
Thank you. And last question I have here is, what is considered a high budget amount?
Okay. Well, several hundred a day is a budgeted amount. I mean, if you're over $100 a day, I think they use to assign an account manager. But even if you're less than that, you could still get an account specialist.
Okay. All right. And we will have this presentation available to our participants, correct?
I believe so. We also have a handout in the PDF that I sent to you guys. So if you could distribute that, that'd be great.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Okay.
That is it for now. So we can go right ahead.
Great. Okay. There we go. Okay. So the keyword theme. So we went over this. Let me get the next one here. Okay, where your ads appear. So yeah, so here's what I was talking about. We can adjust the ads to appear within a zip code, within a municipality, within a whole state, within a whole country. You determine how wide or narrow the targeting will be. And you can also assign different budget adjustments for that. So if you wanted to say one neighborhood, you want to have 50% more of the budget go to that neighborhood than another, you can do that as well. So very, very robust tools for location targeting within the Google Ads tool. And it's only getting better. I mean, as time's gone on, it's only gotten better. So I've been really happy with the targeting tool. Sometimes it could get so tight in targeting that your ads won't run because it loses anonymity, depending on what your industry is. When there's a very small search volume and you target such a small location, you could almost personally identify the people clicking, and Google doesn't want that. So again, this type of tool is really built for large volume. So when you're at the large volume, you can pretty much do all these things, and you get the high volume of leads that you're looking for. And setting your daily budget. So there's different ways of setting the budget. A daily budget is a good one that I've found, it satisfies everyone. And if you're in there adjusting it regularly, you can make sure that the budget's spending correctly or not. You can make adjustments very readily. Whereas you do monthly budgets, it sometimes takes a little bit longer to figure out if there's something going on right or wrong. And the same thing with a set amount. Essentially, the daily budget is the most flexible way I've found for doing this and controlling it and making sure you're optimizing every aspect of the account. But you do one that makes sense for you. Again, some rules of thumb. I mean, if it's 10% of marketing budget, of your what you can afford to spend, as much of that as possible, I would have into the Google tools, because get your highest return on investment. Another thing is that you got to consider that with these types of tools, even if you shut it off, all the extra attention you have gotten over the months or years or however long you've been running your ad campaigns, this builds up, some credentials within Google with your business and your content, so that even when you shut it off, you're still going to get residual benefits for years to come. And when you turn it back on, all those benefits are still there waiting for you. So it's not like a newspaper or television or radio where it's here, they hear it and it's gone. It's just in the thin air, never to be interacted with or useful again. So that's one thing to consider when you're spending your money here. Even if you don't get results directly right away, all those clicks, Google remembers. All the views to your videos, Google remembers. And it knows people interacted with you before, and it's going to look at you as a relevant result next time it needs something to show to a user that's searching for your subject matter. Is going to have something there it knows people interacted with before, which sets you at a higher ranking than perhaps new content. So again, this type of budget is well spent, and if it ever gets out of hand, you can always just shut it right off. So it's very flexible in that respect too. Okay, so here we go. View your campaign and launch. So at this point, this is where you set up the time restraints, make sure everything is set correctly for your locations, and etc. Now what? So the ad variations. So this is something that goes on usually with the agencies stuff that we will follow up a lot. Negative keyword themes. So if, let's say, you're repairing refrigerators, but you don't sell them. So when people are looking to buy them, you don't want your ads to show up. So you would use, buy refrigerators and things like that into negative keyword themes to prevent your ad from showing where it's not relevant. Also, you want to also be creating variations of your ad, because you don't want the same ads to constantly be showing up. Also, there's going to be some other new ads that you're going to want to put up when you start seeing other suggestions that Google will put up saying, hey, these keywords are getting a higher search volume. So perhaps, that's something you should make some more ads. Oh, sorry, can you hear me? Oh, sorry, I can't hear you.
The chat. The chat.
Oh, chat. There we go. Hey, there it is. Oh, I get you. Okay. Oh, I didn't even realize time. Okay, great. So we're right at the end of here anyways. Let me get this chat off of here and continue. Okay, so recap resources. Again, we have text ads, organic results, all that on the left side. Those are the black squiggly lines that people don't read anymore. Your business profile is on the right with the pictures, the interactive, dynamic content that engages people and drives them to action. The right side is free. You just have to provide your content. The text ads on the top, you pay for. Organic results, you work for. Your next steps. Help your website appear on Google's organic search results. So you're going to use trends, test my site, in the search console. I put number 1 here for if you have a business, create a free business profile on the google.com/business. That should be number 1 priority. And then 3, use Google Ads to reach more potential customers online. Ads.google.com. That's how you amplify your presence with money. And we have all these great resources here that I talked about that will be in this presentation that I believe the City of Miramar will be distributing for those that need it. Also, this Google Primer. We didn't go over it in the presentation, but For people that are looking to do some of this marketing themselves for their business or starting out, they don't have really a budget for an agency. This is a really good starter thing here. That's to help get you up to speed with some of the basics of these so that you don't misstep. And continuing education with Google on Air, lots of videos and things that we can use for learning. And you can also register for other virtual workshops. Of course, the best ones are the live ones we do here at the city of Miramar. And Primer, here it is. This is what I was talking about. So great little mini courses that you could take here for getting up to speed with marketing, and really nicely presented. And they don't take much of your time, but will really help you make better decisions and answer simple questions. And other free online training from Grow with Google for teachers, students, local businesses, job seekers, and developers. If you're learning to code, we have it all at Google, and all this will be on your handouts here. So what are you going to do today? I hope everyone's going to get their Google My Business listing up and running and get some engaging content there. Start seeing some more customers come through your door. And thank you all. And thank you for the city of Miramar for allowing us to make this presentation. And again, my contact information should be there. If you have any specific questions about the presentation today, I'd be happy to answer those questions too. And we have a whole ton of resources for you there with Google. And again, I thank you for your time.
John, we thank you for being with us today. We appreciate everything that Google does for the businesses and our community and all over the world. So we asked, but we're going to make sure that the presentation is available to our participants. And if they have any follow-up questions for you, they will contact you in a later date. Okay.
Great.
Thank you so much, sir. Have a great day and enjoy the rest of the
You too.
All right.